Watching Wall Street as we kick off a very busy week of corporate earnings and key economic reports. This morning, stock futures are rebounding slightly following Friday's declines. The Nasdaq tumbled nearly 2% during the last trading session. NewsNation business contributor Lydia Moynihan joins us now to preview this big week ahead. And Lydia, what are the big earnings reports that are due out this week? I mean, what are the big earnings reports that aren't coming out? It might be easier to ask that because this is a big week.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. Everyone we're speaking with says, oh, this is the biggest week on Wall Street. It feels reminiscent of during an election when they say this is the most important election in U.S. history. And they're right. And this is the most important week for Wall Street. And they're right. Yeah, look, we're seeing the biggest U.S. companies report earnings: Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook. And the good news is if you look at what happened last week, all major indices were up much higher on really less than fabulous earnings, right? Netflix lost 1 million subscribers nearly, and yet their stock was up because people were just relieved it wasn't the end of the world. Tesla didn't meet its production goals, and yet their stock was up 10% because people were just so relieved it wasn't the end of the world. One thing to be concerned about, Snapchat last week reported earnings, and their stock tumbled 25%. They missed every major metric. Some people think Snapchat is sort of a bellwether for some of these major tech companies that are reporting this week because it's a good indication of what's happening in the digital ad space. They make their revenue in similar ways to how other major tech companies make money. So I think the good news is it seems like as long as it's not total chaos, a total disaster, markets will be pleased with really just pretty average earnings. So yeah, I think futures indicate that it's...
I saw a lot last week of it's not as bad as it could have been along those lines. Now, what's interesting, like you said, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, the parent company of Google, Apple, we're expecting all those earnings reports, and the Fed is going to meet and decide what to do about interest rates. Tell me about that.
Yeah, and I also want to note, too, we're going to get the second quarter GDP number as well. And so those kind of two things about, you know, if we get a second quarter of negative growth with the GDP, that's going to indicate that we could potentially be in a recession. That's technically the definition of a recession is 2 quarters of shrinkage in the economy. The White House getting out in front of that, saying that even if we do have another quarter of shrinkage, that doesn't necessarily mean we're in a recession. They're out there trying to redefine what a recession is. And of course, the Fed meeting. So we talk a lot about the Fed on this show. And it feels a little abstruse, but if they hike rates 75 basis points, which is what a lot of people expect them to do, that's something they did last month. They hadn't done that in well over 2 decades. So if they do that again, that's going to be a historic hike. And that's going to show, again, they're just really serious about reining in inflation, which is more than 9% at this point. They're going to do what it takes to basically cool the economy down. So people are going to be looking at, can they bring inflation down without cooling things down so intensely that they push us into a recession? So
there will be a lot to talk about this week for sure. That's Lydia Moynihan live in New York for us. Never a dull moment. Thank you, Lydia.
Well, record high prices, of course, everybody's looking for. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.